Good day, dear students. Let's talk about the types of tourism. I do hope that you are going to get some useful information about today's topic. So I wish you having a time positively. Tourism is one of the most flourishing industries in the world, making a significant contribution to the world GDP. Every year, millions of people from across the globe travel miles and miles from their own countries to see different lands. Tourism is a sum of phenomena and relationships arising from the interaction among tourists, business suppliers, host governments, host communities, original governments, universities, and so on. Tourism comprises three distinct elements. It is involved in travel of non-residents, the staying of temporary nature in area visited, stay not connected with any activity involving earning. These are the main features of tourism. Broadly based on the aim, tourism can be divided into main categories like educational, leisure. But modern approach gives us quite another categorization or just classification. Today we're going to speak about the types of tourism concerning to the aim of the traveling. Nowadays, tour companies try to enlarge, to develop the kinds of tourism according to the interest of the traveler clients. Let's talk about them. The first one is adventure tourism. You see on the screen. People who are open or who are eager to adventure, they choose this kind of tourism. People who are very active, people who prepare for adventure, who seeks adventure, who are always in the quest of something new to satisfy their adventure, just adrenaline rush. They choose this kind of tourism. And they should possess some kind of training skills in order to do this kind of type of tourism. Next one, that you see on the screen is burst tourism. Burst tourism, interesting, yes? What do you think? What kind of tourism is it? Especially people move to some kind of countries with stable, economical stability. They especially want to give a birth to a child who will automatically possess a citizen of the destination country. And that's why they move from poor places to economically independent states or just countries. Next one is business tourism. Business tourism, I think you guessed, especially it's connected with business, with a profession. Especially people choose this kind of activity concerning to their job. They are sent to implement some kind of tasks. They are concerned to attending meetings, conferences, seminars, visiting exhibitions and trade fairs and so on. They solve some kind of problems with a partner, partners in other countries. Next one you see on the screen is the culinary tourism. The culinary tourism is very famous nowadays. You know, two things attract people: beautiful, places, as well as delicious food. Culinary tourism especially is organized many times by people, by some kind of tour organizations for people who seek experiencing culinary culture. Sometimes they're called Ecotourism or wine tourism, which people prefer to see the wine production services. The next type of them is cultural tourism. I think you guessed what kind of tourism is it. People who are interested in culture of different people, of different locations, they choose this kind of tourism. They want to be with the local people, they want to see their life, their lifestyle. If they are urban areas, they visit museums and theaters. If they are in rural areas, they try to see the agricultural places, or they go into their lifestyle. They want to see the real life of people who live in other countries. Next one you see on the screen is dark tourism. Interesting, yes? Dark tourism, what do you think? What kind of tourism is it? Let's talk about it. Especially it's a Greek tourism. It's a witness to some of the major tragedies in the history, place that saw a lot of tragical history, suffering and bloodshed. Most people want to see these kind of places, which became very popular in historical value. Next one is disaster tourism. As you guessed, looking at the picture. Places that suffer from a very huge disaster are attractive, and they attract many people. They can be volcanic eruption or hurricane like a Catherine or nuclear disaster and so on. People are curious to see these places, to visit these places. And especially tour operators include this kind of places to the package, tour package, to interact people, to call their clients. The next one is doom tourism. Doom? What do you think? What is doom? Doom tourism. What kind of tourism can it be? Let's talk about it. It's in the coming slide. Especially doom tourism includes the places that they are at the edge of loss. The places which we can lose forever. People want to see it before they are lost. For example, we have got the Oral Sea that we are losing it nowadays. Oral Sea attracts many people. Sometimes people want to see this kind of places. They are soon lost. Next one, drug tourism. With the purpose of buying drugs from different countries, people travel. They want to purchase, they want to sell and to consume this kind of products. And thousands of tourists flock to these places in order to acquire forbidden substances. Buy and consuming drugs, narcotics which are illegal and in their own country, in their own territory. Next one, you see people sometimes want to travel on the purpose of ecotourism. I think you guessed it. Ecotourism is connected with the flora and fauna. Flora, that means the vegetation, fauna, that means animal, wildlife, or wildlife. Sometimes this kind of tourism is called geotourism or wild tourism. People want to see the beautiful nature, areas of natural beauty, and people want to see the places with natural and artificial landforms. Next category is genealogy tourism. Genealogy tourism especially is connected with the family roots. People who are immigrants who move to another country in their childhood wants to see their original places and to find their origins, to find their family members, and they want to connect their past. They seek for people that belong to their genealogy, to their family, and this is called genealogy tourism. Next one, medical tourism. Medical tourism, as you guessed it, especially people suffer from different diseases and they cannot find cure in the country where they live in, and that's why with this kind of purpose they move to another country. Medical tourism constitutes the travel of patients from one place to another in order to acquire proper medical care and treatment. They may move to surgery operations, also cosmetic surgeries and so on, in order to take care. Next one is nautical tourism. Strange, yes, nautical tourism. What do you see on the screen? You see water, you see ship, you see people, tourists, travelers. Especially nautical tourism is connected with just sailing, with boating. People prefer just this kind of activity, not only just for sailing, especially for fishing or just to be acquainted with this kind of voyages and so on. It attracts many people yearly. Next one you see on the screen, religious tourism. Especially religion always attracted many people, even in the history. People who moved from one place to another to see saint idols and that belong to their religion. Especially buildings, temples, churches, mosques, landforms with religious significance are the most attractive places. People just travel on the purpose of pilgrimage or missionary activities to holy places. Next one is slum tourism. People from the developed countries want to see the people who live in the poorest countries, who live in the lowest level. They want to see the slum. They want to see the very simple places where people live in the poorhood. Opportunity to see the tourists this kind of places, especially in the countries which economical industry is not stable. They visit, they take a photo of this kind of place. It's interesting for them. Next type of tourism is space tourism. Space tourism, you see, it's one of the modern type of tourism. People travel to space. Some kind of tour organization organizes kind of tours several times, and they have been successful, but it costs high. Especially a number of startup companies offer space tours to a limited number of tourists each year. It involves traveling to space for recreational and for business purposes. Sport tourism, people, this kind of tourism will be chosen by people who are active in sport, who has got training in sports. They prefer to try their hands in different countries concerning to participate in sports. Sport activities like as cricket, football, tennis, or worldwide popularity sport games. So next one is virtual tourism. So what's a virtual tourism? You look at the picture. People use some kind of technology on their eyes. They see the world through technology. They see the world through internet. They travel. They experience in an electronic environment. They visit places through technology. It nullifies or it just economizes aspect of time, distance, and cost, but it can never replace true tourism. It is called virtual tourism. Next one is war tourism. People are eager to see the war places where the war happened, especially World War and World War II. Also just attracted or developed tourism because people wanted to see these places of disaster. People wanted to see the places where the war finished. A lot of people died, especially they are interested in the foreign military sites, war zones, facilities such as museums that exhibit the artifacts perpetuating the military history. Next one is wellness tourism. Look at the picture. People are sitting, they are calm, they are training their body, their soul, their mind. Especially people travel on the purpose of wellness, to become well, to become healthy. They prefer, for example, body treatment or weight losing program, beauty treatments, and so on. Especially they travel on the purpose of body treatment or just beauty treatment and so on. They come to various places. Next one is gastronomic tourism. Gastronomic tourism especially is very popular nowadays. It is connected with food and as well as in the cultural places. Food, not only food in a restaurant, but it is also connected in in urban areas and rural areas. It is connected with culture of people or with the lifestyle of people. People prefer to eat in the places connected with the culture of people. It is called gastronomic tourism. It is a new culinary tourist or foodies are keen to seek out of distinctive food experiences and try novel and interesting culinary offering. Tourists increasingly want food which emphasizes the heritage and culture of place, which assists the preservation of traditional forms of agriculture and cultural heritage. Next one is, so we spoke about the types of tourism. Now let's shortly speak about the transportation and traveling, which we spoke beforehand. So how they will travel? By what? Of course, we spoke about them. Let's revise. They prefer traveling by air. They prefer traveling just by car. They prefer traveling by train. They prefer to choose ship traveling or voyage. Different kind of transportation means will lead them to destination they prefer to see. By bus, by train, by bicycle, by car, by boat, by ship, even on foot. You can travel on foot. According to your financial situation, you can choose this type of means. Now shortly, then let's talk about active and passive holidays. Active and passive holidays just connected with a type of tourist Some people are very tired of active life and they prefer passive holidays. They want to sit near the blue sea, hear the sound of the waves, and sit somewhere in the shadow and drink cocktails. While some people are eager for adventure holidays or sport holidays, they prefer to be active. They use physically try to be active in order to satisfy their demands. So recreation in tourism, it means recreation tourism. That means you can also just imagine another type of tourism for yourself to satisfy your just tiredness. Recreation activity, which may include your own desire for rest, for entertainment, any kind other types of relaxation are called recreation and tourism. For example, you can go somewhere in mountains, you can go fishing, and so on. And there are a lot of recreations in tourism. Even you can create with your own mind. Shooting a film is also can be recreation for you in your free time, and so on. So in the next class, I will show you different types of recreation in this sphere. People may think, may fantasy, in other types of entertainment, in other types of having holidays. So for today, that's all. I really wanted to talk to you about this kind of activities concerning to tourism purposes. I hope that you got some information about today's lecture. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you. See you next time.